Welcome back to Information-Based Center channel. This video about why water never ends, and learn about the water cycle process. Water is an important nutrient and plays an important role in the human body. We can last up to a few weeks without food, but only a few days without water. Every system in the body, from cells and tissues to vital organs, needs water to function properly. Humans can get the water from many different sources, such as from rivers and rain, but it never ends. The main reason water never ends is because of the water cycle process that happens in nature. There are 7 processes in the water cycle, starting from evaporation, condensation, sublimation, precipitation, transpiration, runoff, and with storage. First, the process of water cycle starts from evaporation. Evaporation, one of the main processes in the cycle, is the transfer of water from the Earth's surface to the atmosphere. By evaporation, water in a liquid state is transferred to a gas or vapor state. Water vapor is a major form of atmospheric moisture. Although its storage in the atmosphere is relatively small, water vapor is very important in forming a moisture supply for dew, frost, fog, clouds, and rain. Typically, sunlight and other factors such as air temperature, vapor pressure, wind, and atmospheric pressure affect the amount of natural evaporation that occurs in any geographical area. Evaporation can occur in raindrops and on free surface water, such as seas and lakes. Next, condensation is the process by which water vapor transforms its physical state from vapor, most often, into liquid. The water vapor condenses into small air particles to form dew, mist, or clouds. The most active particles that make up clouds are sea salts, atmospheric ions caused by lightning, and combustion products containing sulfuric acid and nitrates. Condensation is done by cooling the air or by increasing the amount of vapor in the air to a saturation point. In addition, condensation can occur as soon as the air contains more water vapor than is acceptable from free surface water through evaporation at the prevailing temperature. This condition occurs as a result of cooling or mixing of air masses with different temperatures. By condensation, water vapor in the atmosphere is released to form precipitation. Third, a process called sublimation, in which solid water, such as ice or snow, can directly transform into water vapor without first becoming liquid. Sublimation is the process by which ice directly turns into water vapor without turning into liquid water. This phenomenon accelerates when the temperature is low or the pressure is high. The main sources of water from sublimation are the North Pole and South Pole ice layers and ice caps in the mountains. Sublimation is a slower process than evaporation. Fourth, the process is precipitation, is a process that occurs when all forms of water particles fall from the atmosphere and reach the ground. There are 2 sub-processes that cause clouds to release rainfall, the consolidation process and the ice crystal process. When water droplets reach a critical size, the drop is exposed to gravitational pull and friction. Falling falls leave turbulent ups and downs that allow smaller falls to fall faster and be bypassed to merge with lead drop. Another sub-process that can occur is the process of ice crystal formation. It occurs when ice develops in cold clouds or in high cloud formations in the atmosphere where freezing temperatures occur. As nearby water droplets approach the crystal, several droplets evaporate and condense on the crystal. Crystals grow to a critical size and drop as snow or ice pellets. Sometimes the pellets fall through the air at a lower altitude, the pellets melt and turn into rain. Next, the process of the water cycle is transpiration, is a biological process that occurs most days. The water in the plant is transferred from the plant to the atmosphere as water vapor through many individual leaf openings. Plants occur to transfer nutrients to the top of the plant and cool the leaves exposed to sunlight. Leaves that undergo rapid transpiration can become cooler than the surrounding air. Transpiration is strongly influenced by plant species found in the soil and is strongly influenced by the amount of light exposed to the plant. Water can be emitted freely by plants until the water deficit develops in the plant and the cells that release water stomata begin to close. Transpiration is then continued at a rate that must be slower. Only a small part of the water absorbed by the plant is stored in the plant. Next, the process is runoff, defined as drainage flows from the drainage basin or river flow area that appears in the surface flow. It generally consists of streams that are not affected by artificial transfers, storage, or other works that may be owned by the community on or in the flow channel. Flow consists in part of rainfall that falls directly on the river, surface runoff that flows above the ground surface and through channels, and subterranean runoff that infiltrates the ground surface and moves laterally towards the stream, and groundwater discharge from deep absorption through the horizon land. Part of the bottom surface flow enters the flow quickly, while the remaining part may take longer before merging with the water in the flow. When each component flow enters the flow, they form an overall run. The number of runs in a flow channel is called the flow rate and is generally considered to be a direct flow or base flow. 7th, the process is storage. Some sedimentary water does not flow into rivers and is absorbed by plants or evaporated. It moves deep into the ground. This is called infiltration. Water seeps downwards and increases the surface level of groundwater. It is called pure water and can be drunk. Infiltration is measured as inches of water soaked by soil per hour. Water stored in the atmosphere can be transferred relatively quickly from one part of the planet to another part of the planet. The type of storage that occurs on the surface and underground depends largely on the geological features associated with the type of soil and the type of rock found in the storage location. Storage occurs as surface storage in oceans, lakes, reservoirs, and glaciers. Underground storage occurs in soils, in aquifers, and between rock formations. In conclusion, the water cycle process includes evaporation, condensation, sublimation, precipitation, transpiration, runoff, and storage. The water cycle process happens every time in the world to make sure the water never ends.